Buenos dias, guys. Welcome back to Mama Lottie's kitchen. Today I'm joined by another mama. Last week we made a tuna turner, which was simply the best, and I'm excited to know what she's going to make this week. So I'm joined by Anna Maria, who's not only famous for being in the kitchen, but also for being on the dance floor. So welcome, Anna Maria.
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much, Justin.
Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to know what we're going to make.
I'm going to start with a cream of prawn soup, followed by lemon chicken, and finally by a dessert, which includes the boudoir biscuits and a bit of liqueur, just to booze it up a bit.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this. How are we going to start?
We better start with the dessert. It's easy to make, but it needs to be in the fridge for a few hours. Okay. So whilst we have it in the fridge, we can start with the soup and the main course.
We're doing things a little topsy-turvy this week and starting with our dessert, as it will need time to set. But as they say, good things come to those who wait.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a meringue.
Yep.
When the meringue is ready, we mix it up with the Nestle's cream, and immediately after that we start dipping the boudoir biscuits and alternating with the cream and the meringue. So let's get started with the meringue.
Okay, tell me what to do first. Is it just a standard meringue?
It's a standard meringue, yeah, and
okay.
Adding a bit of sugar only.
Okay, so let's grab egg whites, which is how many eggs have we used in this?
There's 4 eggs there.
4 eggs, okay. Put that in there.
There's no fast rule to that, because sometimes I use 3, 4, 5. You know, as long as you mix it with two cans of Nestle's cream, it's the main thing.
Perfect.
So let's start with the meringue.
And we're mixing the egg whites until it peaks?
Until it peaks away, we have to put like just a little bit of sugar. Remember that this is very sweet.
Okay.
So we don't really need all that sugar. And the cream is also sweet, and the liqueur is quite sweet.
It's going to be a very sweet
So
dish.
it's a very
You have to have a big sweet tooth for this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to just mix up this, and when it's ready, move on to the next.
That's right. When we start forming peaks, we add a little sugar.
Okay. And by a little what? A couple of teaspoons?
A couple of teaspoons normally, yes.
Oh, I'm going to get a teaspoon,
yes.
So we can do that.
You may add now like 1 or 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay. Heat or level spoon?
Heat. The sweeter the better.
1 and 2. That looks just about ready.
So I'm going to mix we're going to mix it into the cream.
Into the cream.
We fold it, yeah. That's
So I'll put that there. So we'll pour the egg whites or the meringue into the cream once it's ready.
We fold it in and we leave it as that.
We fold it? Okay.
Yes. And then we start dipping the boudoir biscuits in the milk and the liqueur.
Okay.
This looks about ready now.
Brilliant. Nice and peaked.
Yes.
I think that looks good. So we're going to fold it in here?
We're going to fold it inside, yeah, in the cream. There's a bit of meringue there. I don't like to waste meringue at all.
No, don't like wasting food. Use everything.
That's right. We add it in there. We
Okay.
fold it in.
So I'll add it.
Exactly.
The whole thing, not half at a time?
Yeah, the
or
whole thing.
What consistency do we fold it up to?
We fold it well. The meringue is mixed with the cream.
Entirely, so there's no
because if you
white.
were to whisk it, it becomes liquid again.
Ah, so
I've made that mistake before of carrying on whisking cream with meringue, and it doesn't come out.
Nothing
so
happens.
you just
So the reason that we're folding it is to keep the air in
exactly, because now it will look like a mousse when the boudoirs are dipped in milk and liqueur, and then you put a layer of that cream. The product will look like it's got a mousse. When you cut it, it doesn't look like cream. It looks like a mousse. We need the plate, and we need to dip this in milk.
So this is going to be the boudoir bit, which is the base.
That's right, yes. We dip a little liqueur. That all depends how much you want.
Well, no, there we've got what, about 2 shots? A bit more?
What I do is al cálculo, like
Okay.
they say, because I think everybody's got their own way of doing things, and I'm not a booze person, but I like booze there. So sometimes I do put too much.
I like alcohol in desserts.
And my husband
nice
says that's a bit too strong. So anyway, we do 3 or 4 at a time.
Okay.
The first batch shouldn't be too wet, because then with the weight it can collapse.
So just both sides?
Yeah. We'll leave this space here for 3 bits so that we can decorate it with the peaches later on.
Okay.
Okay,
So we need
three.
So about 3 layers fit there. Huh?
Yeah, more or less. Okay, the first layer is done. Now
Yes.
we put some of that cream.
Of the moussey
Yes.
meringue. And we what, cover it entirely? The whole way around or just
No, just that on top of the boudoirs, because now more boudoirs go on top of that.
4 layers high, 3 layers high?
3, 4, depending how tall, depending how much cream we have as well.
And the reason we're doing this first is because that has to go in the fridge and set for 2 hours.
It has to go to the fridge, yeah. Because you see, it's too creamy now. If you were to cut it now,
Yeah,
it would all disintegrate. And sometimes even after a few hours in the fridge. Ideally, I leave it overnight, because overnight it sets much more. But with 2 hours in the fridge, it should be okay.
So do you prefer making desserts like these, or do you prefer baking?
I like both, actually. I like baking and I like desserts. The thing is, at home, they're a bit particular with desserts. This is the one they always like, and when I try something else, very nice, but I want the boudoir again.
I go back to this one.
So I always, I don't have much practice on desserts because they're not really that keen.
In my house, it's more baking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer baking. So you grew up learning the kitchen from your mother, or your
I
father?
was terrible. I used to skive. I hated cooking.
Oh,
I didn't start cooking till my daughter was born.
Really?
Really, yes. I hated it. My mother used to say, "What are you going to do when you grow up? Because you don't know how to do anything, you know."
Esta niña que ve que no hace nada.
The very first time I cooked it was an emergency because my mother had been hospitalized with acute appendicitis.
Okay.
I must have been like 20, 21. I still didn't know how to do a fried egg. And of course, I was with my father at home. The operation was in the evening, and that night we didn't eat anything because we didn't feel like eating. We had been quite upset. Then the next morning she was much better. And I thought to myself, I have to cook something for my father. I wanted to show off, but I didn't know how to cook. So anyway, the funny thing was that I should have gone for sausages and mash or something like that. My mother had lots of cookery books, but I never used to look at them. So I looked at one in particular, but then I liked another one from the Woman's Own magazine. I went for this recipe, which it looked lovely to me, but it wasn't really. It was a fish, haddock, and it was cooked in milk.
Okay.
You had to boil it in the milk. It looked very attractive to me.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. And then you had to get a bed of onions, put the onions on the pie dish, put this fish, which had already been cooked, really boiled in milk, and salt and pepper, and you had to lay it on top. And then you had to sprinkle cheese and breadcrumbs. Now, my father hated milk. He didn't like bechamel or anything cheesy.
So this was the perfect dish for him.
I don't know. I was stupid. I was so stupid. There was no other word for me. Anyway, I was very proud that I had made it. But you know when you're making something and it makes you sick?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's putting you off. That's how I felt about this horrible dish. But I said, my father will like it because I made it. Anyway, I served him, poor thing, with this dish. And the face said it all. But he didn't want to hurt my feelings. And he said, he tried it, and you could see the disgust in his face. He tried it, and without hurting my feelings, he said, "Darling, okay, I'm not really very hungry. With your mother being in hospital, I'm a bit upset. I'm going to have a sandwich instead." Okay, they go, okay. So you give it to me tomorrow. I'll eat it tomorrow.
How diplomatic of him.
Very much. He didn't want to hurt me, poor thing. And anyway, that's exactly what we did. The following day, again, I ventured into serving him with the fish, and he just had a bite or two. And he said, "I'm still upset because your mom's in hospital. I'm not hungry." So he had a sandwich instead. And years later, he told me, he says, "Why on earth did you, go for a milky dish?" And from there, I didn't cook anymore till I had my daughter.
Well, you've come a long way, Anna Maria. This trifle is starting to look absolutely delicious. Shall we do the sides as well?
Yes,
or do we
it's
leave
better.
The sides?
It's better to do the sides, although the peaches are going to go here, so much is not going to be seen.
Sí, yo tengo práctica doing this with the cakes. I coat a bit bruto.
What we do is we sprinkle with chocolate when it's all done.
Yeah.
And the peaches as well.
And this
Hopefully
we're going to put in the oven now for...
In the fridge.
This we're going to put in the fridge.
The oven will all collapse.
And the oven's going to melt in the fridge for 2 hours, and we can start.
That's right.
We can move on to the next dish.
Okay.
Whilst this starts to set. Our trifle dessert is ready for the fridge. We place some cling film over it, carefully held up by cocktail sticks to help it set. In part 2, we have more sensational dishes to serve up, so don't go away. Welcome back to Mama Lotties. We kick off part 2 with a heartwarming soup with some amazingly juicy prawns to really sink our teeth into.
we start with the oil.
And the prawn soup is something that you've discovered or made yourself or you've tweaked as you've gone along?
My mother used to make prawn soup. I've made prawn soup before, but this is especially a very easy one, which doesn't have so many ingredients and yet it's tastier than the rest.
So I'm chopping the carrots, but how shall we start the base of the soup first?
The base is the olive oil. Heat up the olive oil, then put 2 onions, and then 4 or 5 cloves of chopped garlic. Fry that a little bit, then add the carrots.
Which is about 5 carrots.
5 carrots.
Am I slicing these thinly or am I dicing them into chunks?
Obviously, the thinner the better, because then if they're very thick, they'll take a bit longer in the. Remember, all the veggies have to be tender before you blitz them.
Okay, so I'll cut them thinly anyway, because
that's right.
That way it stews a bit faster.
So we'll put the onion.
So what difference do you give the soup to make it like your own little twist to it?
The other soups I used to make with prawns, they contained more ingredients, like lots of celery, leeks, Philadelphia cheese, cream, milk. They were delicious, but somehow this brings out the flavor from the prawns with just these basic ingredients. It has a little, like 2 or 3 teaspoons of tomato puree, which also gives it that special touch. But obviously the base is the stock, the actual boiling of the heads, the prawn heads.
Which is what we've done. We've made a stock.
Which is what we've done, yes.
And
just
we've left
with
the heads
sea
there.
salt and nothing else, no onions or garlic, just plain boiled heads.
So just boil them until, for how long?
About 20 minutes. I boil them and then I simmer. It does reduce a bit. But then again, if you want some more soup, anyway, it does contain chicken cube, just a little chicken cube with some more water. And if you feel it's very strong, because the prawn heads give it a very strong flavor, I also sometimes add more water, because you can even make more soup out of it.
Yeah, so if you find it's too strong, we can water it down.
Exactly, and at the very end you can put cream, but I put evaporated milk. I love evaporated milk in cooking. It gives it that special flavor.
So we're cooking that until it's translucent?
It's a bit translucent, yes, and then now is the time to put the garlic.
So once all that is sort of all soft and tender and ready to go,
we're going the tomato puree, the herbs, and then we get the stock.
Fry your onions and garlic on a medium heat until they turn soft and translucent. This will be a rich, tasty base for your prawn soup.
Okay, the onions are softer now, so we're going to add the carrots.
Yeah, just pour the whole thing in?
The whole thing in, yes, please.
Let's not make a mess here.
Good.
There we go.
Good, and we do the same.
Do we season it at this point, or should we wait until we add the stock?
I actually never season it till almost the end, because that has sea salt in it.
Okay,
and I
so
can tend to overdo it, so I would, and the chicken cube is also going to give it a bit of saltiness, so I would rather wait a bit longer.
So now that everything's stirred together, do we add the tomato puree now?
That's right, yes.
Okay, do you want to use the spoon
to
just pour it in? And how much tomato puree more or less are we adding?
They were about a tablespoon, 1 or 2 tablespoons.
Does that change the flavour a lot, depending how much?
I find that it does. The tomato, it gives it a concentrated sort of flavour, no?
So if you want it stronger, you can add a bit more tomato to it.
I mean, you can make prawn soup so many ways. You can even add fresh tomatoes to it. But the thing is, the way I've been doing it lately is this way. And the flavour is just wonderful. At least at home we love it. And now we can add the
I'm looking forward to trying this.
The herbs. I hope you like it.
We'll add the herbs. How much pinch?
Like 1 teaspoon, I would say.
1 teaspoon. So
get the pinch, you get the pinch.
About a pinch. That smell of the tomatoes coming through with the onions and the garlic, everything's...
And the basil gives it a nice smell too.
Very good fragrance to that.
And now we're going to get the stock.
The stock. Okay, this bit, I'm going to let you do the stock.
It's the tricky one, yes.
Yeah. So we'll put this on top.
Ready?
So we're just draining out all the heads from the stock.
That's right.
Because we don't want to use that in the soup, we only want the liquid.
So we give it another stir, bring it to the boil, and then we lower the heat and we simmer.
At what point do we add the fresh prawns? I know that we've got some fresh prawns as well as part of the ingredients.
The fresh prawns is at the very end. Once it's blitzed and you add a bit of milk to it, then we go back to the stove, we put the fire on, and we heat it up with the prawns, and the prawns will cook within a few minutes.
Our soup is halfway there, and as we leave it bubbling on the side, we move on to our main course and one of Anna Maria's family favourites, a lemon chicken that will have you licking the plate clean. Well, the starter is going, so we're going to prepare the main course now, which is the lemon chicken.
That's
so
right.
what are we going to do? How are we going to get this going?
Whilst I'm dipping the chicken in the flour, you can cut the potatoes.
We're going to serve some potatoes on the
Potatoes,
side.
yeah. You could serve a crispy salad if you want, but we've got the potatoes tonight, so you can cut them.
Yep.
And we're going to put them in the oven.
Okay. Why have I got some cling film here?
The chicken, before I dip them in the flour, I'm going to give them a good beat up with a mallet.
What am I going to do with the potatoes to prepare these?
You will lay them on the tray.
Yeah.
And then we get like a pint or as much as water as we need with chicken stock. And then some butter. Put the butter, a little blob of butter on top of the potato.
Simple.
And that's it, yeah. And the potatoes will absorb the stock and won't get dry at all.
So this is the Anna Maria way of making...
I don't even know how I got to that.
Well, no, it's your way of doing it.
It's not really roast potato, the classical roast potatoes, but it does give, the chicken stock gives the potatoes a very nice flavour. Okay, so now I'm going to tenderize the chicken and then we will dip it in the flour with the seasoned the salt and pepper. This again, it's as much as you want. I like it peppery. Some people might not like a lot of pepper because this is a seasoning that's going to go onto the chicken.
So with our flour seasoned and our chicken tenderized, it's time to coat the chicken breast in our flour and get it frying.
I'll just cover it with the flour and then we'll put the oil in the pan and then we'll start frying them. Once we fry it, we take it out and then we make the sauce.
So, while Anna Maria flours the chicken, I'm going to add some lumps of butter to our potatoes, which is a little naughty, but will make them extra delicious and golden. Well, I've put some butter on this already.
Okay.
I prepared 1 stock cube in here. Is that enough?
Should be enough, yeah.
Okay.
You just pour it there.
Just pour it on top.
That's right.
And because,
so that they don't burn.
Yeah, and the chicken stock is already quite salty in its own, so we don't really need to season this too much, no?
No, that's right.
Okay, well, I'm going to put this in the oven.
Okay.
Well, the potatoes in the oven, I put them at 180 degrees. How long am I going to leave it?
Usually when the water has been absorbed, it's when the potatoes are ready. It's probably 20 minutes, half an hour. Depends on the oven.
We'll check in 20 minutes. It's a fan oven, so it should be relatively quick.
That's right.
And in the meantime, how's the soup looking?
I think the soup's done now.
Yeah, so we can take it off.
It needs to cool down so that we can blitz it a bit later.
Oh, well, we can take it off and use that hob in the meantime.
Okay. That's
for frying the chicken.
For the chicken, yeah. The oil is already hot. So we'll start.
So after we've floured them, we're just going to fry them straight in there. We don't need
to them on both sides.
Use any of the seasoning or use any of the lemon yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay, we're just frying that until it's
fry.
Cooked on the outside and the inside?
Even if it's not completely done in the inside, it doesn't really matter because then when you make the sauce, you're going to put this into the sauce and sort of boil it together with the sauce for a few minutes. Okay. So if the center happened to be pink, it wouldn't be wouldn't be any problem because it's going to be cooked.
As Anna Maria lightly cooks the chicken, the flour gives it a wonderful golden color. Next, we'll prepare our juicy chicken and lemon sauce to refry our chicken and give it its zesty tang.
The chicken has already been fried. We need to get the stock inside the frying pan. We have to juice 1 lemon. We have to slice the other. Okay. Because the other is for the ending.
We've put a pint in here, no?
It should be okay. We might need, sometimes I need to add more because remember that the flour will absorb the liquid.
Okay.
We'll heat it up here. And then, there's plenty there.
Take out.
And then we juice a lemon. We have to juice the lemon and boil it with it.
We'll put it on the heat
for a few minutes. Wow, that's quite a good lemon, eh? It's juicy. Some people might not like a whole lemon, but you can have half of it.
Okay.
So that needs to boil a little bit. Once it's boiling, we put the chicken inside and let it boil as well. The last thing is the evaporated milk.
For this as well?
For this as well, yes. That's what gives it.
For the soup.
No, not for both of them. That's why it gives it the creamy flavor at the very end.
That to me looks like it's boiling.
Starting to boil, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the milk.
Yeah. First of all, I'll put the chicken so that it boils with the actual
lemon, the stock, and everything.
Stock, yeah.
You make this dish very often at home?
Very often. Well, at the moment because my son is not here. He's the one who likes it. But when he's here, I make it like once every 3 weeks or so.
So it's a very popular dish.
It is, yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to trying this one at the end. Okay, that's bubbling away now.
That's bubbling away, so all we need to do
is
just a bit of milk.
How much milk, more or less?
I would put like 3 tablespoons or something like that.
And it's just enough sort of to give it a bit of colour.
It's enough to give it a creamy. It depends if you want more cream, obviously. I think it should be okay now.
And that's going to stew for about 5-10 minutes.
Even less, because the chicken's done already. If we overcook, it might get a bit tough. We need the lemons now. If you like it extra lemony, you put the lemons there, like 2 or 3 just slices, and you mix it up.
Leave it there. And in the meantime, this soup is now cold.
We need to blitz it.
We should blitz it completely.
Yes, that's right.
So with a hand blender, sort of just go in and out, yeah? That's
exactly, yes.
Don't do that.
We need to add the evaporated milk. Try to blitz it and see the color. I like it to be like a pale orange. You need to taste it to see if it's too fishy. If it's too fishy, you can add more water.
No, I think that's fine for me.
It's salty enough.
It's not too salty. I think it's
good.
It's perfect. I've seasoned this with the pepper now, and the prawns which we had whole.
When it gets to the boiling point, we put in the prawns.
So I'm going to put this back on the heat then.
Okay.
Because I think the chicken's done, no?
The chicken's done already, yes.
I'll turn it up a bit. So we'll wait for that to boil again, and then we'll add in the prawns.
The prawns will be done in no time.
So these, as soon as they change color to pink, we know that they're done.
That they're done. So we're going to put all the prawns inside.
How many prawns are we getting, more or less?
It's a kilo of prawns.
Our prawns should be cooked in just a few minutes, and our potatoes pretty much done. But I took the potatoes out, so let's serve the lemon chicken with the potatoes now on the plate.
Okay.
I'm going to put a bed of potatoes.
Okay.
And put the chicken on top, yeah? I mean, if we wanted to, we could leave this longer in the oven and the whole water would evaporate. It depends how crispy you want them, really.
Exactly.
And the chicken, we'll put a couple of slices on top. Another parsley we can chop up, sort of sprinkle on top.
Put some food on top, yeah.
Good, that looks very tasty to me. I think we're just going to finish up the soup and we'll serve it alongside, and then we're going to give that a try. The prawns have been stewing away in our warm bubbly soup and have gone pink and tender. Absolutely perfect. I can't wait. We serve this then.
Serve it, yeah.
Okay, about what, 3 prawns per person?
There are plenty there.
Anna Maria, the dessert looks quite set. How are we going to decorate this?
I like to put chocolate on top. We're very chocolatey at home. You can put nuts, you can put anything you like, and then just adorn it with the peaches.
Well, Anna Maria, we started with a dessert, but I think we've actually ended up with a really good selection of food. So let's give these a try. I'm going to think we should start with the prawn soup first.
Okay.
Then we'll move on to the lemon chicken and end up with
the dessert.
What do you call the dessert?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll start with a meringue peach chocolate dessert.
Boudoir dessert, and that's it.
Well, let's give this a try then. Let's give the prawn soup a try.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
Yes. I think I would add more milk. I would add a bit more evaporated milk. For me.
To make it slightly creamier?
Yes.
No, I think that's
But it's
perfect
nice.
for me.
It's got the prawn. It's a very intense soup, isn't it?
It's very intense, but the stock wasn't too overpowering.
No.
Let's try the chicken. Lemon chicken and some patatas. There you go.
Okay.
Definitely. The sharpness of the lemon comes through. Like you said, it's not acidic. Because of the milk, you can taste it slightly creamy. Definitely a win. I'm going to try that one when I get home. Let's give the dessert a try.
It's not too strong. You can taste the liqueur. You can taste the liqueur, but it's not that
That is coming through.
Sometimes I put more on it.
Not too strong though. It's coming through nice and soft. I'm going to have some more.
I don't be too.
Okay. I'm going to end this, otherwise we're going to keep eating this. I'm never going to finish the show.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. I really enjoyed today.
And so have I. Thank you.
I've loved all the dishes that we've made. I hope everyone at home has loved all the dishes that we've made.
I hope so.
So if you've loved everything, give it a try yourself. And I hope you join us next week. We're going to have another mama coming over. She's going to cook 3 new dishes for us to try. I'm going to end up fat by the end of this program. So thank you very much for coming.
Oh.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you,
And we'll say
Justin.
goodbye to everyone now. So
Bye.
see you soon. Mwah. If you'd like to check out more delicious recipes, check out Mama Lotties, Gibraltar's online cookbook on Facebook or head to mamalotties.com. Until next time, bon appetit!